All right, gents, so this is what we're working with today. What I'm doing is installing a dual steering stabilizer on my 2015 F250. All right, it's been a while since I've done a video, but let's go ahead and do this with the limited amount of time that I have today. So we have just a budget-friendly dual steering stabilizer kit from BDS. All right, it comes with the Knox 2 shocks instead of the Fox shocks. You can upgrade those to Fox for like an extra, I don't know, 100, 200 bucks. But this is just a budget friendly because I already have the stock steering stabilizer installed up top. That's been upgraded to a Bilstein. So let me show you what comes in the kit. It's been properly packaged, instructions. I'm using battery operated tools. All right, all this looks pretty solid, pretty good. All right. And everything that's, you know, these two rings are for this part. This is for the pretty boy stuff. Bolts, those washers go to that. Those washers go to these. They're all based on size. I didn't measure anything. It just makes sense. What I'm using is 13, 18, and 19 millimeter deep sockets. I got wrenches just in case. Which I more than likely will have to use because I'm tightening it from both sides. So like I said, everything is perfectly packaged. Let's go ahead and get to the install. So step one is complete. You got this, well, I don't think y'all can see that. There we go. All right, this is in 1/4 inch above this bar. All right, I used the the medium size bolts. All right, a washer down below, 2 rings. Boom. So this bar is just going to be lined up against the pumpkin. All right, that differential right off of that edge. Again, 1/4 inch right above this bar. It's keeping it as level as possible. And that is it. 40 foot-pounds of torque. And on to the next step. All right, so on to step 2. So we're going to use these 2 brackets. They're going to be going off of the tie rod bar. All right, so it's actually going to be right on top of it, not underneath. All right, 2 rings per, and then we're going to be using these the smallest size bolts or nuts and washers. All right, so both dog ears are in. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, 4 nuts, washers, and the rings are all underneath. All right, so the directions are from this hole, center hole, to the hole right here, which is where the shock will get mounted. That's right there. 20 and 1/8 of an inch need to be the center of the hole to the center of the hole. All right, 18 foot-pounds of torque, tighten them all down. 20 and 1/8 inch distance from there as well to this hole, not this one. All right, this one. And now we're on to the next step. All right, next step. This is a very easy process, guys. Just got to follow the directions. All right, so we're going to use the biggest bolts. All right, washer. All right, and then another washer, 2 nuts. All right, that's going to be for the center piece. All right, now that means we have 2 bolts left, 4 washers left. And these are going to be going on the outsides, the dog ear sides. Okay, so essentially it's going to be like this. All right, that's one connection to a shock. All right, here's another one. All right, so if this is the center of the truck, if this is the front of the truck, you're looking at the front. All right, you have these shocks. It doesn't matter what kind of shocks they are. It could be Foxes, could be whatever Kings you're rocking. All right, these shocks, this is the stationary side. This side retracts. All right, so what I'm saying is, depending on your flavor, whatever you want, you can line up the shocks to extend from the inside, or do it like that. Okay. I don't know. I don't think the instructions mention anything. Let's see. No circle. Nope. Nothing about the shocks. Install stabilizers onto the brackets. They need to be mounted below the brackets. Center bracket. The body of the stabilizer will go to the outside brackets. Okay, what that tells me is we'll go to the outside brackets. That tells me is that it'll be like this. Okay. That's how I translate it. So the body of the stabilizer, what does it say exactly? The body of the stabilizer will go to the outside brackets. All right, so this is the outside. Here's the body. This is where it retracts. Okay, so this is the way they want it. All right, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna go underneath. I'm gonna do one shock at a time. I'm not gonna be able to camera or videotape while I'm doing this process, but I'll be able to show you how it kind of looks like at the with an end result. So head back underneath so I can show you. For those that don't YouTube, I do have to say I've been doing this for quite some time. Started in high school. Didn't really know how big the channel would continue to grow, and I would continue to do this for so many years. Videotaping while installing 100% takes away the fun out of the install. So all these videos, some I don't videotape because I want to enjoy, and those are the reasons why I don't videotape those, and I just need it. So this is my hobby, trying to help you all, because it saves a lot of money and it does a lot of help for your truck and driving experience. All right, this won't cure death wobble, but it will help with the bump steer, and that's exactly why I'm installing these. So here we are. All right, these are the smaller bolts, or just like I showed you. Actually, I already showed you all that. 40 foot-pounds of torque. I mounted this side, the outsides first, and then I pulled the shock out until it was at the right distance and put the bolt in. 40 foot-pounds of torque right there, and then same thing right there. So if I scoot back a little bit, fairly level, because I took the time to ensure that it was generally level. I did use a level, but it was kind of, I just kind of eyed making sure that the outside dog ears were somewhat as flat as these circles. I didn't have a long enough level to use, but you can use a little tie like a little rope or string from hole to hole, and then use a level to see if it's level enough. And then if it's not, just to adjust the outside dog ears, right? Because this is going to be stationary. This is going to be 1/4 of an inch above the bar, so that's not moving anywhere. Other than that, all I have to do is put some stickers on there. Who knows, maybe I won't, but that's where the stickers come into play. If you use boots needed to get put on before this process. I won't be using those. I think it'll be okay, although I do value the protection of the shocks, just protecting everything as much as you can with the seal of this shock. But these shocks won't last a lifetime, which is why I had to buy a new kit from my last kit. And then the last step is actually using a rivet gun. You probably can't see that. Okay, now you can. 2 holes right here, 1, 2. All right, I got to use a rivet gun, and then I can mount the BDS plate. Now, the way I actually did this was that this part goes over the top instead of trying to shift it down underneath. All right, so that's what I did. It's fairly level, looks good. So anyways, guys, very easy install. This was like a very budget-friendly kit, exactly what I wanted, because I already have that steering stabilizer up above. All I wanted to do was just remove a little more bump steer in my driving. So I think that's exactly what these are going to do. But anyways, if y'all got any questions, go ahead and let me know down below, and I appreciate it. See ya.